Hey honey, welcome to my side of the internet. My name is Soncerae Monique. I am a life coach for both men and women. I have a 50-50 audience, so I try to play fair with both genders. I want everyone to unify and produce loving unions. There is no gender war here. I promote positive perspectives and healthy debate, so be careful what you post inside of my comment section because YouTube has no problem with deleting your entire comments, okay? They'll also put your comment in the held for review tab, and then it'll have to sit there in line with all of the other comments that I have to look through and determine whether they make the cut. And let me tell you something, I'm real strict with that. So most comments don't make the cut. You feel me? I don't like remedial stuff. I don't like profanity. I don't like anonymous trolling. It's just worthless. It's not valuable. So bring something of value into my comment section. Today, this specific video is for gentlemen only. Fellas, if you want exclusive photos and videos of me keeping it all the way ultra sexy, I'm going to need for you to go to SonceraeMonique.com and click on for gentlemen only. There you can get access to that content as well as dating advice, okay? So I'm going to talk about my personal experiences that I've been having with men online and off. And when you do what I do for a living, not just content creation, but modeling, or if you're inside of the entertainment industry in general, you have a different experience when it comes to men. It's multiple types of men that you have to deal with who have a different perspective of you. So you got men who are classified as like fans. They know you from a distance. They like all of your content. They invest in your content. Stuff like that. You got men that just love you on the internet. Then you have another set of men who are inside of the entertainment industry, so they understand your hustle. Okay, so when you're dealing with regular men who aren't your fans or who aren't inside of the entertainment industry, they don't necessarily understand what it is that you're doing every day when you're posting sexy photos or you're, being kind to men in your comment section or in your inbox. And a lot of times these men don't understand the difference between what you're doing inside of the entertainment industry versus what you do inside of your personal life. Well, really, it's a duality to it. And that's one thing that I was having an issue with for a very, very long time that made me be selective about the kind of men that I was dating that weren't inside of the entertainment industry. Now, men who are inside of the entertainment industry are very difficult to date as well because they juggle a lot of sex partners. They deal with a lot of women. And when you travel the world and you are jumping all over the place, you tend to meet more people than the average person. Like the average Joe Smo goes to work every day in the same place. He barely goes out. He might go out some weekends to the club or something like that. A regular guy who has a regular job. But a guy that's inside of the entertainment industry, this man is hopping from city to city to city to city, state to state to state, island to island to island. And he's meeting hundreds of thousands of people on a regular. So the perspective of reality is very different. It's a very different experience. So what you consider promiscuous as a regular person, whether you're male or female, what you consider promiscuous, right? What your perspective of reality is and what you classify as promiscuous as a regular person is different for a person who is inside of the entertainment industry or who travels around and meets a lot of people, because a lot of people to you could be 100 people, but to a person who travels and moves around a lot, 100 people is not a lot of people when you know thousands of people. You understand what I'm saying? So 100 people is not a lot to a person who has, just traveled the world and been to a lot of different places. So the perspective of reality is different for a man who's inside of the entertainment industry versus a regular man. There is a common behavior that happens when I'm trying to connect with a man who's just a regular Joe Smo. You understand? Like, I'm not the type of woman who is materialistic. I don't go around just dating a rapper who has the most amount of money. Of course, I love businessmen because I'm a businesswoman, so I want someone who matches that energy. But for the most part, it's been extremely difficult for me to date a regular guy. And it's because a regular guy doesn't understand what I do for a living. So a common thing that I get inside of my inbox is men sending me pictures of money. This is the first issue I see. It's more than one, but this is the first issue I see. Now, before men was sending me pictures of money, they were sending me pictures of their phallus. And that was getting out of hand, because I think that men believe that women who post sexy photos are like fair game to every guy. And that's not the case. It's for entertainment. It's something separate that we do for a living. And any woman who is inside of the entertainment industry, whether she's a singer, whether she's a rap artist, whether she's a model, with anything inside of the entertainment industry, our sex appeal is important inside of the industry, and it generates a lot of income for us when we display our beauty or sell our beauty. So it isn't something that has to do with who we are personally. And I think a lot of men think, well, if she's sexy and she's posting sexy photos, then that means she's fair game for everybody, and I can say whatever I want to say to her and it doesn't matter. That's not the case. And a lot of men who aren't inside of the entertainment industry don't necessarily understand that. So a lot of times men will send me pictures of money, and they'll use it as a tool to try to get me to respond to them if I'm not responding. Now, I usually say no to every guy. Like, I'm the type of woman that thousands and thousands of men come into my comment sections and inside of my DMs, and they try to holler all the time. And it's been that way my entire career. I've been inside of the entertainment industry since I was 15. When I started getting on the internet and promoting my career there, I have always, from even back then, received hundreds of comments and DMs from men trying to holler at me. It's just something that it comes with the territory. So with time, I've just learned to be polite and let men down easy. And even with me doing that, the rejection has still made a lot of men get onto the internet and talk negatively about me as if we had some type of experience with each other on a personal basis. A lot of men, actually the men who have spoken the loudest about me on the internet, were upset because I rejected their advances. So if you hear a man who is speaking negatively on the internet or is interviewing guys I used to date or something like that, it's because he's feeling butthurt about me rejecting him. And it wasn't because we met in person. It was just I rejected him online. And usually 9 times out of 10, any man who's dealt with me, I'm extremely polite until they give me a reason not to. So with men online, they like to send me money. All right, pictures of money, just to prove that they have money, because they feel like if they show me that they have money, it's going to get me to be interested in speaking to them. But I say no to every dude for a reason. My favorite answer to men online is no. Okay, because number one, I don't date online. And I remember trying it before, and it wasn't pleasant. Everyone knows the story of me and my son's father, and that's the first and last time I took some dude serious that I met online. I don't usually date online. I'll get online and get onto dating sites in order to invite men to events. Like, I used to do that in Atlanta a lot. I used to get onto dating apps and invite men out to events I used to go to, because when I would be hosting events, they would pay me to bring people. So I would bring an entourage of models with me, and then I'd invite a whole bunch of men. And so it just made the crowd 2-3 times bigger, and it just made somebody's party who may have not had the audience that they wanted, it made their party be twice the size it would be if they just invited me and paid me $2,000 that night to bring people. So I would use the dating sites for that. Never because I wanted to be in a relationship with the people that I was, on the dating sites talking to. And even to this day, if I'm on a dating site, it's usually just to have conversation and do a little research so that I can be able to teach men and women how to maneuver a dating app, because a dating app is a dangerous zone. People are using dating apps immaturely and inappropriately often. So in order for you to be able to sift out whether you're dealing with the right type of person or not, you really have to deal with someone who knows what they're doing when they're sifting through dating apps. Like, they have to know how to tell you how to navigate it, or you just don't need to be getting on dating apps at all. So that's my goal now when I'm on sites like Hinge or OkCupid. I don't do POF because I think POF is the worst website to get on in order to meet someone and just try to even build just a solid basic friendship with. Like it's very difficult for you to get on POF and build something solid with somebody on there, because a lot of people come onto POF playing fucking games. Okay? I met my son's father on that goddamn site. And when I met him, I wasn't even thinking about being in a relationship with dude. I was just inviting him out to an event. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't even thinking about that. And we kind of built a friendship as time went on. And honestly, I do not suggest that anybody get onto a dating app or date online. I don't care if it's Facebook dating. I don't care if it's Match.com. Don't even do it. Now, you can meet crazy people online, you can meet crazy people offline, but honestly, I feel like a lot of people who are toxic and who would usually have access to a certain kind of person use a dating app to get access to that kind of person. So you don't want to build that bridge to where you're like this successful, kind-hearted, loving, financially stable person, and then you get on a dating app and you meet a bum or a toxica or a promiscuous whoremonger who's going to use you for all of your resources and then throw you under the bus. Because that's basically what happened to me and my son's father. I was very kind to him, very sweet to him. I mean, I did what I was supposed to do as a woman, as a friend. And at the end of the day, he still abandoned me with a child and threw me under the bus as if I was like this negative partner, when really his intentions weren't pure from the beginning. So you have to be careful when you're online. So men are sending me pictures of money. First it was their phallus, now it's money. Okay? And I keep trying to explain to men, like, a man who truly wants me to have something, right? If he says, you know what, I like Soncerae, I want her to have $5,000. They don't send me a picture of $5,000. You know what they send me? $5,000. You understand? They don't send me a picture and say, hey, where can I send this large chunk of money I have in my hand? They just flat out be like, yo, what's your Cash App? Or can I hit you up on Zelle? And then they don't even wait. They don't even hesitate. Within a couple of minutes, I got an additional $5,000. That's how men who want me to have something operate. They don't just be like, oh, I don't know if I want to send her this because she might think I'm a simp, or I don't want to look like a simp to other men. They don't think that way. When they want me to have something, I have it. And men will send money, not because they're trying to prove something to me, not even because they want some type of recompense or repayment. To me, if a guy gives me something, whether it's money or a bracelet, a diamond bracelet, or some type of clothes, some shoes, or something for my son, when men give me stuff, they usually just give it to me because they want me to have it, not because they want a transaction. And that's when it becomes a problem with the men who are sending me pictures of money versus men who are sending me money. Men who barely have money and are very limited when it comes to their resources, they'll send me a picture of their money and try to pretend like they have all of this money just to get my attention. But then they'll be kind of hesitant to send me money because their intention on sending me money to begin with is to make their interaction with me transactional. And I'm like, if you want a transaction with me on a professional level, you can just go on to my For Gentlemen Only, because that's what that's for. You understand? But my personal life is very separate from For Gentlemen Only. And I think a lot of men don't understand that For Gentlemen Only is a transactional thing. It's, you want to spend money on something, I have a product or a service that I can give you, and then you can get some type of repayment or recompense. But inside of a relationship, okay, inside of a marriage or inside of a dating dynamic, I require from men from the beginning to show that they can protect and provide for me before I give them anything. Because what I notice is a man will drain you as a woman of all of your resources, all of your time, all of your patience, all of your love, and all of this time you just been a placeholder for the woman he truly wants to be with. So from the beginning, I give men the opportunity to show me whether or not they truly want to kick it with me or not. And so a lot of men who will send me $20 or $50. They think I'm supposed to jump through hoops or do this dog and pony show for $20. And I have to explain to men, first of all, let's get this out the way. I'm a very expensive woman. You want me to take you serious? You need to be sending me $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. Then maybe I will take you serious as a man. But when you send me $20 or $50, don't think for 2 minutes I'm about to just twirl in a circle and do whatever it is that you want me to do. Dance for you and FaceTime you and answer all of your messages, and men want me to stop my life for their little $20. And I keep trying to explain to men, like, if you can't afford these women that you're trying to have a transactional experience with, then the last thing that you need to be doing is thinking about women. What you need to be thinking about is business and money and your career. Okay? Think about business and money. If you want to be the type of man that is a transactional man, get your money together. If you want to buy women and you're not looking for love and friendship and something true, and you just want to buy women, get your money together, because $20 ain't it. $20 ain't never going to be it. So you need to go out there, start a business, go get you a high paying gig, buy you some investments, some stocks, some NFTs, EFTs, maybe some index funds or something. Learn how to read a candlestick chart and do what you need to do so that you can build enough wealth to be able to buy women. Buying women or owning women is not cheap. The men back in the day, traditionally, because men love traditional women, traditionally, that's why men could get married. Because women, we couldn't go out there and make our own money. So we needed to be married in order to have room and board. We didn't have a choice. So a lot of women put up with a lot of bullshit with their husbands because they didn't have anywhere to go. They didn't have anywhere to live. So women put up with so much bullshit with their husbands because they didn't have anywhere to go. They didn't have any food to eat. They had children with this man and didn't even know how they was going to take care of their children if this tired ass, disgusting ass man wasn't around. But he had the money. It was a transactional situation. So he had bread. So if you want to be the type of man that has a transactional situation with a woman, you got to get your money on top. That's number one. You can't be sending pictures of money, because when you send pictures of money, that is a flat out indication that your ass is broke. No matter how much money you holding in your hand, no man of value or quality or who has a lot of money is going to take a picture of it and send it to a woman. Now, this is only one of the issues that I have online with men. Okay. I think that men feel comfortable with posting just about anything in my comment section and in my DMs because I post sexy photos. And what I want men to understand is there is a difference between a woman who posts sexy photos because that's what she does for a living, and a woman who is personally posting photos, sexy photos, just to get the attention of men because she's looking for someone to deal with on a personal level. Those are two different types of women. And for some reason, y'all like to try to group all of those women in one. I am inside of the entertainment industry. I was a model. Part of my job is being beautiful. I get paid to be beautiful. There are some other women out there who would love to have that job, who would love to be able to be paid for their beauty. And a lot of them are up and coming. So they get onto Instagram and they post all of these Instagram baddie photos. And then you have women who are just attractive. They're regular, everyday women who got a regular, everyday job, and they'll post a sexy photo up. Regardless to whether her photos are sexually charged or whether she's doing it for a living or not, you still have to take precaution as a man when you are reaching out to women, especially if you are genuinely interested in them, or even if you just want to, have an casual exchange with this woman. You cannot speak to women in a negative manner and think that that's going to make you more attractive to her. Okay, you can't reach out to a woman and disrespect her and think it's going to make her want to kick it with you, regardless to what kind of woman she is. Like if she's posting sexy photos and you're interested in interacting with her offline, you still have to come to her with a level of respect and get to learn who she is first before you decide how you want to address her. And I think a lot of times men are not doing that. You're addressing all women the same, and you're not understanding that we're not all monolithic. Even if we all post sexy photos, it wouldn't matter, because we still have different personalities and we've all been through different things. And some of these women that you're interested in are professionals. So when you reach out to them, you can't reach out to them the same way you would just a random woman with a regular Instagram profile. Okay? Like it's just, you can't do it. And I know some of y'all want to, but you just can't. It's not gonna, work. And for me, I ignore a lot of men because I'm the type of person, I don't like to say anything mean. So if they come in my inbox saying something sideways, I don't like to say something mean to them to get them to go away. So I'll just ignore them, and they'll just keep sending messages and sending messages and sending messages and sending messages, getting more disrespectful and more disrespectful. And it's like just me ignoring them, being kind enough to ignore them is not enough for them. They want me to get rah-rah with them and block their ass. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times they don't even realize they're being weird. A lot of men feel like the stuff that they're saying online to women isn't weird and creepy at all. But it isn't up to them to determine what's weird and creepy to the woman that they're talking to. And you guys will say and do anything inside of a woman's inbox or in her comment section and not factor in what she thinks and or feels, because you feel like whatever she posts makes her fair game to everybody. And that's not true at all. There is a difference between virtual reality and real reality. Who you're speaking to online, how you're speaking to them online affects how you will deal with them in real life. So if you're disrespecting someone online and this is someone that you want to meet in real life, you're not going to be able to meet them in real life if you're disrespecting them on the internet. You understand what I'm saying? And simply because a person posts a photo is not a reflection of their entire life. And I think a lot of people think one photo, two photo, an Instagram feed is showing you a person's inner secrets and what they do on a regular basis. No, it's just a photo. So you have to take it for face value. You can't assume anything. You can't dig any deeper. The only thing you can do is see something beautiful, like it. If you like the way that a woman looks or carries herself on social media and you become interested in her or you think she's sexy, still come to her with a level of respect and try to figure out what kind of person she is first before you decide how to address her. Because a lot of y'all are just addressing women all willy-nilly all over the goddamn place, and you don't have any structure, discipline, or finesse when you speak to a woman. And so you're not getting the kind of results that you want from the women that you're reaching out to. If you would like some decent results and you're a decent guy yourself, I can help you out with that. I don't even like creeps. So if I pick up on you being a creep from the moment we start talking, I'm going to exit. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to teach you how to pull in more women. And I understand a lot of y'all listen to a whole bunch of pickup artists and men on social media who are womanizers, and they teach you how to mistreat women more. And you are causing a problem for your own species of man. Like you're creating debris for other men who are good men to clean up when you listen to these other men teach you how to be a womanizer. I can teach you how to deal with a woman, and if you decide that it's a casual thing that you want with her and you don't want a relationship, I can teach you how to deal with her in a way that it won't end so badly where you hurt her so bad to where now she's hurting every single man behind her, or she ends up retaliating against you and now she has this revenge and she's trying to screw up the rest of your life. You understand what I'm saying? I can teach you how to choose better women, make better choices with them, and communicate properly so it can be a drama-free experience if you want to just exit stage left and no longer want to interact with that woman specifically. A lot of you do not know how to break up with women. You fade to black thinking that works. You cheat on her with her friend. You do things to try to make her break up with you instead of you just being man enough to break up with her. I mean, there's so many things that men do that are inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, if you want better results with women, contact me. Let me know and I can help you out. If you'd like to schedule a one-on-one coaching session, a FaceTime, or a 45-minute call, go to sonceremonique.com to make a request. If you need advice or want me to talk about something specific in a video or post, please email me at soncerae@gmail.com. Please remember that everything can be viewed in two different ways, a negative perspective or a positive perspective. You get to choose how you respond to what you are observing or what you experience. And if you respond to everything negatively, you will have an unfulfilled life. If you look at the world from a positive perspective, you will notice that most people aren't trying to purposely harm you. And understanding that not everyone is out to get you improves how you communicate with others, and you'll begin to cultivate better relationships. So tell me, fellas, inside of my comment section, let me know, how do you feel and what do you think when you see women post sexy photos online? Like, do you automatically think you could have access to her? Do you automatically lose respect for her? Like, what are you thinking when you see a woman post a sexy photo online? Also, I want you to be careful, and I don't know if I said this in the beginning of the video, but I'm going to say it again if I did. If I didn't, then you here for it. Listen, be careful about what you post inside of my comment section, because YouTube has no problem with deleting your comment. So make sure that you put something with a level of respect inside of my comment section. Use your vowels, use your college vocabulary. All right, if you didn't go to college, then Google some shit. You heard what I'm saying? I know it's hard not using profanity, because I struggle with that too. But don't use profanity in my comment section, and don't insult women. Don't come here to vent about your frustrations with women in such a negative way. It's an easier way for you to communicate what you're thinking and you're feeling without calling a woman out her name or without being rude and disrespectful. You have to learn emotional intelligence and learn how to communicate with women without sounding so angry and emotional. So if you come in my comment section with something negative, YouTube is just going to delete your comment, or they're going to put you in the hell for review tab, where I have to sit there and filter all of the comments. And trust me, it's a long line of comments over there. Okay, like, it's going to take me a while to get through all of those, because those comments are last minute. Like, the second that you start being remedial, I stop paying attention to it. So make sure you put something intellectual in there. You know, I know y'all fellas can do better inside of the comment sections of some of the stuff I see, because some of the stuff I see on YouTube, and I'm telling you, like, men can do better. You feel me? So when you come into my side of the internet, just make sure you carry yourself as a gentleman. If you can't do that, then this isn't the place for you, okay? But I appreciate you fellas, you know, showing me a level of respect when you do come here. I do appreciate that, and I actually acknowledge your effort, and I really love that, okay? Thank you so much for being here. Damn, I need to drink some water. That was... Whew. My throat's kind of dry from all of this talking. I'm ready to read what you got to say. Bye, y'all. Have vision and stay focused. Namaste. I can't believe I just tried to end this video without even telling you the specifics of why I made this video. My bad. So listen, what the real problem is that a lot of people think they know my situation with my son's father. Men, for some reason, come into my comment section, and when I reject them, and this is why I don't say anything when they're in my DMs, I just ignore them, because if I reject them, a lot of men just bring up my son's father. So a man will try to holler at me, and I'll just be like, oh, you know, I'm not interested, you know. And from being rejected, the hurt from that, they'll say, you don't want to talk to me? Some nigga had you sleeping in the back of his truck and you don't want to talk to me? And I'm like, oh my God. Why do you think because my son's father did what he did, that must mean I'm supposed to just be fair game to every single man that comes into my DMs? Like, no, like, just because my son's father did what he did doesn't mean that gives men a pass to all treat me the same and I'm going to accept the bullshit. I didn't accept his bullshit. See, I think a lot of people misunderstand the whole concept of a down ass chick. And this is why I tell women to not be a down ass chick. There will be men out there who will be afraid to give me money because they don't want to look like a simp. But in that same message that they send me about not looking like a simp. They bring up the fact that I slept in the back of my son's father's truck with him. He was broke. So if he was broke and I loved him through it and stayed with him and tried to hold him down, and he still ended up throwing me under the bus, why would that mean that I'm the type of woman that'll use a man if he does have money? I don't understand the logic in that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you've heard the story of me dealing with a man who was broke, sticking with him anyway, because I felt like being a down-ass chick was something I was supposed to do. And as a man who is supposedly financially in a good place, you don't want to give me money or take me out or do whatever because you are afraid that I'll use you for money. And then you tell me the story about how I stuck to a broke dude. Like, clearly I'm not a gold digger, or I wouldn't have stuck to a broke dude. You understand what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times when I talk about the story of my son's father and how he and I was sleeping in the back of the truck, parked in Walmart parking lots and things like that, a lot of people forget what made me do that with him to begin with. We always had a 50-50 situation from the beginning. From the beginning, we go half on dates. And as our relationship progressed, he wanted me to get rid of certain sources of income because of the people I would associate with if I kept that source of income. So he didn't want me around certain people. So when I got rid of those sources of income, of course, it presented a problem because he wasn't necessarily supplementing me getting rid of those sources of income. You understand? So he began to then complain about me not having as much money as I used to, but it was him who asked me to get rid of the sources of income. And I don't think he connected those dots. I don't think he understood that it was him who told me to get rid of those sources of income. And I did it because I felt like he was my husband to be. And when we was put in a position to where we had to sleep in the back of his truck, I was the type of woman, and I'm still the type of woman to this day, where I love camping, I love outdoors, I love hiking, I love picnics, I like fresh air, I like being outside. I'm an outdoorsy type of person. So sleeping in the back of his truck with the back of the truck open, or just laying in the truck together with the back of the truck open, was actually pretty dope to me. Like, I didn't have like this big hang up. Like, I'm the type of person, I could live in a goddamn RV. I can do #van life in this bitch. I can live in a big ass monster bus because I like to be outside. Now, don't get it twisted. Of course, I like home base. And of course, when I was sleeping in the back of the truck with my son's father, I didn't know it was going to be such a long-term thing. I thought it would be a short-term situation. And then when I got pregnant with my son, I realized there was no way I was going to be able to still be living in the back of a truck with a dude pregnant who was cheating on me and not necessarily thinking about getting us out of that truck. Like, his priorities weren't in order, but I still tried to love him through it, is what I'm trying to get people to understand. Because I think a lot of people make fun of me for sticking to him, but then you guys would have also made fun of me if I walked away from him because he couldn't provide for me financially. So it's like a lose-lose situation with men. It's like, either way, you're going to be upset at the fact that I stuck to a guy that was broke, and then you would be upset with me if I chose to leave him because he was broke. It's like it's just a lose-lose. And so when men come in my comment sections or my DMs now trying to holler, and they bring up my son's father, and they bring up the fact that I had some dude who was making me sleep in the back of his truck, and they use that as a tool to be hurtful or a tool to get back at me for rejecting them. Men have got to stop doing that. Just because a woman rejects you or she's not interested in you doesn't mean that you are a bad person, and it doesn't mean that she is a bad person either. And I say that about my son's father as well. Just because he decided to get back with his ex, or he decided he wanted to be for the streets, doesn't mean I was a bad person, or I cheated on him, or I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do as a woman. It just means he made a choice for him. The timing was bad. It was inappropriate. The way that he handled it was immature. It was the wrong way to handle stuff as a man. But men make mistakes. Sometimes people make mistakes, and I'm not defending his fuck shit, because I'm pretty much the only person who keep holding that bullshit he did and holding him accountable. You understand? So it's not that he's a bad person. He just made a choice for him that was different from what we agreed upon. And my issue with him isn't him moving on and being with somebody else. My issue is that he doesn't take care of his son. And that's a whole nother video in itself. But I do want people to understand that just because me and my son's father broke up doesn't mean I'm not good for someone else. And it doesn't mean that he isn't good for someone else. Or just like you, if you just broke up with somebody or somebody broke up with you, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person or no one should be with you. It's 7 billion people in this world. You'll be able to find somebody that matches you better than the last person that you was with. So don't feel for 2 minutes that because someone broke up with you, that you're a bad person, or that you broke up with someone and that makes you a bad person. You just made a different choice for yourself. And it doesn't mean that you'll never be able to match someone. And a lot of people think if they don't match with that one person, like we're penguins or something, if you don't match with that one person, you're never going to be able to find someone else. That's not true. For me personally, I would prefer, and I've always been this type of person, I'm the type of person, like, I prefer to heal before I move on to another relationship. I don't promote 2 relationships at once. I will break up with a person before I cheat on them. I have no interest in manipulating them, lying to them, and then, like leaving. You understand? Or cheating on them. And my thing is, I wish more men thought that way. Like, they will cheat on a woman that they don't want to be with anymore, but they want to benefit how she loves them. And that's messed up. And I want for men to stop creating so much debris for other men, because you're putting a lot of pressure on other men to deal with these women that you've hurt. So you're not just hurting women, you're hurting the men as well. You're hurting the brotherhood as well. And a lot of y'all don't even look at it that way. You have men out there that clap other men on for being womanizers, but you don't realize that the good men out there who are not womanizing, or when you decide to discontinue being a womanizer and you go out there and try to pick a woman to be with, it's going to be extremely difficult if most men treat women as bad as you treated women. You have to factor that in. And a lot of y'all don't think about that when you're creating all of this debris and all of this heartbreak. Again, I'm the type of person, I like to heal before I get inside of a relationship with another man. It's been 5 years for me where I'm still kind of struggling with taking a man serious. And a lot of men try to holler at me. It hasn't stopped. It's good men trying to holler at me, bad men trying to holler at me, and I still say no. But what I want men online to consider is that there were men before you. You are not the first man to contact a woman. You are not the first man to put hearts and emojis and shit in some woman's comment section. Okay, you have to understand that there were men before you, and there might be men after you if she rejects you, and that's okay. It's other women in this world. All right, you don't have to take rejection so hard to where you are so hurt about it that you feel like you have to say something hurtful back to a woman in order for you to feel better about being rejected. You have to learn how to deal with rejection better. You work like